Alright everyone, well let's continue this Halloween Horror Fest Marathon of 2019 with a game review on one that I anticipated for 2019, and that is Resident Evil 2. The remake for PlayStation 4, also available on Xbox One and on PC as well. Sadly, none for Nintendo Switch, so yeah, if there was one for Nintendo Switch, I would have gladly played it, but it's sadly only for these consoles because I guess, well, maybe Nintendo Switch can't handle the graphics. Seriously? I mean, they did great with Resident Evil 4, and they did great with the Revelation games, but nonetheless, let's take a look, shall we? Alright, well as I mentioned before, this is a remake of the game with the same exact title, originally for PlayStation 1, N64, and even got a re-release on GameCube as well. It was a great game, don't get me wrong. It was horrifying, it was gruesome, but it also suffered some camera control problems because everything was at a fixed angle, and of course with the tank controls as well. But thankfully for all you gamers that complained about those issues, have no fear because this remake will leave you absolutely speechless. It fixes all those problems. Right as soon as you start the game, you'll notice it easily. And you'll notice instead of being at a fixed camera, it's at a third-person perspective, almost similar to Resident Evil 4. In fact, speaking of Resident Evil 4, one of the characters you can play as is Leon. Even though, of course, chronologically this takes place before, and, well, it follows the events of the first game, which did get a remake on GameCube out of all consoles, and then eventually on the Resident Evil Origins collection, which was released for multiple consoles. But anyway, let's not get too carried away here. Yes, you choose your character, either Leon, as I mentioned before, who's a cop on duty first day, and yeah, what a first day to start out on, where the city gets infected by the T-virus by the company Umbrella, so it becomes a fight for survival, where you either have to kill or avoid getting killed by these infected zombies all along the streets, and take refuge inside of the police station to start with. Yeah, because he's a first day cop. And I should also add you meet up with college student Claire, who you can also play as if you choose her character, and her story mode is very similar to Leon's, and she also makes several appearances in other Resident Evil titles later on. But I'm going to stick to Leon's main story mode, otherwise I'd be here all day, obviously. Anyway, as I said, you make your way into the police station, which is basically your safe haven away from all these flesh-eating zombies. And in here you have the usual essentials that you'll see throughout the rest of the game. Weapon and material storage, because of course you have a limit how many weapons and materials and stuff you can carry on in your inventory, which you can upgrade throughout the course of the game. Save points, which come in the form of a typewriter, should seem familiar for any Resident Evil fan. Not to mention that saving your game varies depending on what difficulty you choose. There's 3 different difficulties, and as you know, I chose the most casual because I'm not exactly an expert gamer with this franchise. And you do get a map, which is one of several maps that you pick up because there's several sections of this whole entire police station. Yes, this place is much bigger than you think. I'll get into that in a little bit, but you access it by pressing the touchpad button on the controller. But anyway, getting to weapons now, you start out with a simple handgun, which is pretty basic for the most part. Then eventually, after working your way into the police station, and a gruesomely failed attempt to try to save the life of a police officer, whose lower half of his body gets taken off, giving you a nice look at his internal organs. Damn, that's graphic. Eventually you make your way back in and meet up with that same cop that you remember from the original second game, and he gives you the knife, which is also very handy for not only taking out zombies, but also cutting your way through stuff with tape on it. You do get other weapons and materials and stuff that you collect throughout the course of the whole game, like the shotgun. Yeah, can't kill zombies without these suckers. You also got a Magnum handgun, and you even collect upgrade attachments for these weapons too as well. But otherwise, you get 2 different types of grenades, both a regular basic explosive one and a flash grenade to help stun enemies. You even get a freaking flamethrower later on in the game to help you go pyro on enemies. Yeah, burn! Fire! Fire! But now I'm really jumping ahead here. You get, of course, stuff to help you along the way when you start losing health, like first aid spray cans, and different colored herbs like green, red, and blue, which you can mix together and make even stronger ones to give you a better effect to heal yourself. And let's not forget about ammunition, which you do have to collect for all these different weapons, as well as different types of gunpowder that you can mix and mash with one another to create all different types of ammunition. And wooden boards to keep zombies from coming in through the windows. classic, isn't it? So, shouldn't seem like anything out of the ordinary for anybody who's played this entire series. I mean, you have to collect different types of material to make a bomb and blow up a wall, get the medallion, but you also have to deal with the zombie called the Licker. Yeah, this is just one of many uniquely annoying zombies that you'll see plenty of in this game. They crawl on the ceiling, sort of like Venom from the Spider-Man universe, especially with that tongue that they have, and then try to attack you, drain as much of your health as possible. Well, you can't let that happen. As long as you have your weapons loaded and enough resources to heal yourself, you'll be fine. So anyway, you get all 3 medallions, bring them down to the statue, opening a set of stairs, which leads you to a secret room, then down an elevator, which leads you down which appears to be a utility room corridor, with more stairs. Yeah, it's not exactly a riveting looking location, but for a Resident Evil game, it's pretty fitting. But anyway, yes, you go through all this, and then a boss fight, which I will admit is pretty damn scary looking. So, best approach, aim for the eye. Doesn't take much to figure that out, just gotta make sure you keep your head on this one. Then up the ladder, out the manhole, and into the parking garage. Here you have to find your way out, where you get greeted by zombie dogs. Yep, they attack you and you get saved by none other than Ada. Yeah, boy, she's hot and badass, I gotta say. She of course joins you as your partner on this mission, but not until if you work your way out of the garage, which requires getting the key card from a prisoner inside the jail, work your way in there, where of course he gets attacked by a zombie, so you think that's it, and it just goes on longer and longer. It takes something that's seemingly small and makes it even bigger. Almost like Resident Evil 7, it takes a house which seems small, but let me tell you, it's a lot bigger than that. Yep, it's not just a police station, it's this whole entire police station complex which you just saw. Parking garage, which you have to explore more rooms, as I said, the jail, where you have to fight a horde of flesh-eating zombies, and oh, yes, this guy. He's sent out to kill you, so he stalks you everywhere you go, kind of in a rather creepy way if you ask me. And he's unstoppable. I mean unfreaking stoppable. He's like a freaking Terminator, basically. You know, with that creepy look that he has on him, the way he follows you around. In fact, he's actually called a T-00. What a strange coincidence. Yeah, you could shoot him, you could throw grenades at him, it'll only stun him. But don't let him get near you, because he can hit you hard and drain your health drastically. So it's best to either avoid him or just stun him, but trust me, don't waste your ammunition on trying to take him down. He can't be stopped. But otherwise, yeah, make your way out of the jail. You got a freaking morgue, an electric operating room, you have to restore the power, kennel where you have to fight zombie dogs. And thankfully you can backtrack to the main police station headquarters, but mainly your objective is to try to make your way outside, which you do out of the parking garage into the rundown city of Raccoon City itself. Make your way into an abandoned rundown store, watch a rather dramatic and sad cutscene involving a guy's daughter, who, judging by it, gets infected by the zombie plague, and then you work your way down into the sewers. Yeah, even more non-rivetingly, disgustingly fitting locations in this game. And like the previous sections, it goes on to a pretty decent length. And you start by outrunning a giant mutated sewer gator. God damn. Yeah, basically you just have to outrun him by avoiding the debris that get in your way, otherwise you'll be alligator food. And just avoid his giant mouth. And then eventually the chase ends with him biting on a flammable pipe. Shoot it, then... Yeah, couldn't resist. But anyway, alongside Ada, take an elevator ride even deeper down, where things don't exactly go accordingly after you come across the target you seek, this crazy female scientist, who I'm assuming is all for the T-virus thing, because Leon gets badly wounded, and now you step in Ada's shoes to make your way through and continue the mission, which isn't bad considering she is able to use, well, a handgun to start with. I don't understand why she just doesn't take the weapons that Leon has, which would make a little more sense, but nope, just a handgun with very little ammunition, which wouldn't be too bad, except there's a shit ton of zombies you have to fight your way through, and so don't waste them, in other words. Because once you run out, it really sucks. And you also get this hacker device, which helps you see through the walls, enabling you to take control of the electric work that's running inside of them, and take down this fan, which is blocking your way because obviously you don't want to go through the vent when the fan is running or in the way. Because of course, you're trying to track down and find this crazy scientist, so it becomes a little cat and mouse game with you and her, leading you through several decrepit looking rooms, hacking more of the electric work, and this guy is following you again. Yeah, I mean, he just doesn't give up. He even has the freaking balls to hit a woman. My god. So just avoid him, make your way through, complete the mission, where you have to obtain this ID access bracelet that's inside an incinerator that, well, apparently gets turned on, so you have to use that device and shut the thing off. Do it under a time constraint, otherwise you're done for. Yeah, it took me a few tries, but once I got this tricky puzzle down, the incinerator shuts off, the door opens up, and the chase for that crazy scientist continues, with Ada falling and basically severely injuring her leg. Oof, that's gotta hurt. But thankfully there is an upside to this. Leon regains consciousness, thank God. And it's time to venture your way through this big-ass maze of a sewer. Fighting your way through zombies, you know, the basic traditional ones, and then these ones, which I have to admit are pretty damn disgusting. I mean, look at these things. Try not to let them grab you, but the basic key is, shoot them in the eye. That's a no-brainer right there. But your current objective here, otherwise, is to reunite with Ada, because of course she left you to do what she had to do. So now you have to find her by navigating your way through all these rooms, stairs, and then eventually you do find her, laying on the ground where she fell and got injured, as you saw before, from a view through a window glass. And with the sound of a monster roaring through the air, you know that can't be good, so it's best to save her ass before he comes barging in looking for some blood. Which means more navigating through different rooms, a videotape to watch on a VCR. Yeah, sure gives you some Resident Evil 7 vibes, doesn't it?